Hey guys, in this video, we're going to finish up the posts and comments. Last time we added a way to view a post and create a form to add a comment. This time we'll complete the form functionality and we'll add the ability to delete and edit a post and delete a comment. And we will also restrict views to only allow specific users to access certain pages. So let's get started with adding a delete and edit view for the posts. So I'm going to close out some of this. And then I'm going to go open up my views.py within my social app. And up here at the top, I'm going to import a couple things. So for our edit and delete views, we're going to use Django generic views. And they're just these different view classes that make this a lot easier and takes a lot less code to make this happen. So I can import these to the top by coming up here and I'll type in from Django.views.generic. And in this case, we want the edit views, so I'll do .edit, import, update view, comma, delete view. And now I'll scroll down here to the bottom, and let's start with the edit view. So I'll come down here, I'll do class, we'll call it post edit view, and I will go ahead and inherit from my update view. And now within this edit view, we need to specify a couple different attributes. We need to give it a model, the fields want to show up in the edit form, and the template name. So I'll type model equals post. And then I'll say fields equals, and then in square brackets, body. And then finally, we need to give it a template name. So I'll type template underscore name equals social, because we're in a social app, slash, I'll call it post underscore edit HTML. And that's all we need to kind of specify and set up the view. We also want to tell it where to redirect once we finish editing it. And in this case, we want to redirect back to the detail page of the post that we were already on. And so to do this, I can come down here. I can add a function to this class. I can type def get underscore success URL. And this is a function that's already defined within the view. I'm just overriding it to send it to where I want to send it. So it needs to be named exactly this, get underscore success underscore URL. And then inside of this function here, first I need to get the primary key that we have passed into this view. So I can get that within a generic view by typing pk equals self.quarks, and then in square brackets and quotes pk. And since we're calling it pk within our URL, which we'll do later, I can get it by using just the string pk within the square brackets here. And now that we have the pk, we can go ahead and we can redirect to that URL. So up here at the top, I'm going to import reverse underscore lazy. So I'll go below my Django shortcuts. I'll do from Django.urls import reverse underscore lazy. And this will redirect us to the page that we pass in. And so now below this pk variable, I'll type return reverse underscore lazy. And then in parentheses here, I'll type in our view, the name to our URL, which in this case is post-detail. And then I'll put a comma, and we need to pass in the primary key. So I can type quarks equals, and then pk colon pk. And that's it. So with that done, we should be able to get an edit form that's automatically created with this view. And then when we're done, it should redirect us to the detail page that we were on before. Let's go ahead and save that. And now let's go ahead and create this edit.html. And this will be very similar to some other views. So I'm going to go ahead and, or some other templates, I mean. And so I'm going to go ahead and set my templates folder here, create a new file. And I'm going to go ahead and save this as post, or what I call it post underscore edit.html. And then we're going to grab my, I'm going to grab my post list here. I'm just going to copy it just to give us a starting point for this view or for this template. And I'm going to paste it within here. And now I'm going to go ahead and make a change here and do update your post. So say update your post. And then we'll have a form here, which we need to keep all the same, and submit button, so all that's good. We don't want to loop through all of our posts, so I'm going to go and delete this. And then I also want to add, I'm going to go to my detail page here, got this back to feed button. I need that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, come back to my edit. I'm going to paste that above this title row here. So right there, I'll paste that right there. And that should be it. We have our back to feed, our title, and our form. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now let's go ahead and create a URLs for this. So let's go down to our urls.py file. And we need to add another route here. So at first at the top here, I'm going to import my post edit view, which I think is what I called it back in our views. Yeah, post edit view. And then down here, I'm going to create another path. In this case, I'm going to go to post/edit/ whatever the primary key is. So once again, int::pk. And we're using pk here. So within our view here, it's why we can access it with pk right here as well. So make sure this and this matches. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in our view. So post edit view.as_view. And then we're going to give it a name which equals post-edit. There we go. Now, with that done, let's go ahead and test this out real quick. So grab a terminal right here. I'll type first, make sure. Yeah, so type Python, or wait a minute, I'm in my, so first I need to activate my virtual environment. So I'll do source env/bin/activate. And then I'm going to do Python 3 manage.py run server. There we go. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our website here. So we'll log in. There we go. Now let's go to at the top here. Let's go to, well, first we'll click on one. So we'll say this ID here is 4. So now if I come up here, I do social/post/edit/4. And there we go. And so now we get this little simple update your post with this body form field here, and it fills in with the previous data already automatically, and we can edit it here. So we can do edited and then hit submit. And now it takes us back to that same post we were just on. You can see now it's been edited. So this is all working great. With that done, let's go ahead and add a way to delete this post. So now that I have this post added, I want to come back here and be able to delete it. So this will be the same process before. Let's go back to our text editor down here and jump back into our views. And now instead of using the update view, we're going to use the delete view instead. And so to do this, come down here, we'll create a new class. We'll call it post delete view. Pass in our delete view. And then down here, this is going to look pretty similar. We need to give it a model, a template name, and a success URL. And our success URL will be a little different. But first, let's put our model and our template name in. So we'll do model equals post. And we need to put our template name, which will equal social/post_delete.html. And we don't need any fields attributes here. We don't need a fields variable here because we don't have a form anywhere on this view. And now below here, instead of creating this def get success URL, since we don't need to pass any primary key or anything special in here, we don't need to add this whole thing. Instead, we can just add a variable called success URL, and it will do the same thing. So you can do that equals, and we'll do reverse lazy again. And we'll pass in post-list. So once we delete the post, we're going to go back to the social feed, and post-list is the name of our URL for that. There we go. And that's all we'll need for this. So we can go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and create this post._delete.html. So up here, I'll create a new file. I'll save this as post_delete.html. And this will be a very simple page. I'm going to go ahead and grab this edit view that we just made. I'm going to go ahead and copy this, paste it in here. And now I'm gonna go ahead and change. We need a form still, so I'm gonna go ahead and delete this form variable in here, but keep this form tag because we'll need to use that. I'm gonna grab this H5 that's right here. I'm gonna cut that. I'm gonna put that right here. I'm gonna delete all of this row and column up here that we don't need anymore. And then I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna just more space here. I'm gonna go and delete all of this right here. Replace it with "Are you sure?" question mark. And then below this, I'll put a P tag that says you are about to delete this post. This cannot be undone. I'm gonna close off that tag there. We'll save that, and that should be it for that page. We don't need the Christie Forms tag, so I'll go ahead and delete all of that. We do want to change. No, that should be fine. Although there's one thing here I didn't change. This post list. When we're on this delete page, we don't want to go back to the social feed. We want to go back to the previous detail page for the post. So this will be post-detail. I'll pass in the object.pk. And since we're using a generic view, object is what we need to do to access that model object that we're passing into the template. I'm going to save that. Let's go ahead and check the post edit. I think I did the same thing here. I did. Let's change this to post detail. Pass in object.pk. And I'm going to change this from back to feed to back to post. And same thing here, back to post. And now that should fix that. And that should be all we need here. So now let's jump back into the urls.py and create a URL for this delete view. So we'll import post delete view. Come down here, we'll make another path. We'll say post /delete /int :pk. And then we'll put a comma, we'll put post delete view dot as _ view. And then we'll do a name equals post -delete. And there we go. And that's all we should need to do for our delete view. And so you can see here how using these generic views can be very easy and very useful for these simple views like this. So now let's go ahead and test this out. So once again, we'll go back to our browser. And real quick, before anything else, I want to check the button, the back to post button on my edit view. So let's go up here again and do edit post /edit /for. Back to post, we click this, it goes back to the post. And then back to feed, goes back to the feed. Okay, so that's working well. Now let's go ahead and try to delete this post right here. So we'll go to social /post /delete /for. It says are you sure you're about to delete this post? This cannot be undone. Let's change this button too, right? Real quick while we're here. So back in my text editor here, back in the post _ delete. Let's change the success to danger, and then submit to delete, like that. Now back here, let's reload this page. There we go. That's just a red button here is probably better, and so we'll go ahead and do that. It says, are you sure you're about to delete this post? It's kind of undone. Hit delete, and it takes us back to the feed, and that post is gone. So that's all working well. And that finishes our delete and edit views. So now we can work on the comments. And so first we want to go ahead and add the ability to create a comment. And to do this, we need to go back to our post detail view. So back to this view right here. And we need to handle a post request. Because once we hit the submit button, it's going to send our post request back to the same view. So back in our text editor, we go to our views.py. Up here, right here in this post detailed view, we have a get method. We don't have a post method. So let's go ahead and add that now. So I'll come back here. I'll type def post. I'll pass in self, pass in request, pass in pk, pass in star args, pass in star quarks, colon, and inside here, we need to do a lot of the similar things. We want to get the post. We want to get the comment form. We want to pass all that into the template. We also want to make sure we list out all the comments, but we'll do that here in a second. So first, let's go ahead and just copy all of this because we're going to render the same template and a lot of this is going to be the same. So I'll copy this and I'll paste it right here. So we're getting this post, which we still need to get. We're getting this form, which is the comment form. But now we want to pass in request.post to pass in the request.post data into this form. And now after that, we have our context and we return render the template. But now we do work on this form validation and make sure, and then save that into the database. So now we have our data passed to our form. We can check if this form is valid. So down here, I'll type if form.is_valid. So if the form is valid, we first want to save the form. So down here, I'll type new_comment equals form.save commit equals false. And then once we have that saved, we need to go ahead and set the author and the post on this object. So looking back at our models.py, for this comment, we have an author, which will be the current user that's signed in, and the post, which will be whatever post that we're currently on. So first we'll set the author. So this will be similar to when we create our post. So it'll be new_comment dot author equals request.user. And then new_comment dot post equals whatever saved in this post variable right here. So we can type just post. And now finally we can go ahead and save this to the database. So I do new comment.save. Perfect. With that done, we should be able to create a comment. Right now though, we won't be able to view it because we're not listing any comments out. So let's go ahead and grab all of our comments. And so after all this is done here, before we create the context here, I'm gonna go ahead and just create another variable called comments. It's be equal to comment.objects.filter post equals post dot order underscore by, and then reverse created on. So minus created underscore on. And so what we're doing here is we're grabbing our comment object, we're going and filtering it by whatever's saved into our post variable. So whatever's saved here. So on every comment object, we have this post value. If that post value matches whatever's saved in this post variable right here, we're going to add it to a list. And then finally, we want to go ahead and take our list and we're going to reverse it by create on. So the newest will show up first, oldest will be last. We also want to do this for our GET request as well, because we want to show the comments no matter what. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this, come up here, and paste it right there. And now we go ahead and just add this comments variable to the context for both the GET and the POST request, and we should be good to go. So I'll do comments up here, comments. I'll go ahead and just copy this, and I'll paste down here in this context as well. Go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and try it out. So let's go back to our browser here. Let's reload the page. Comment is not defined, so I forgot to import it. So real quick, come back up here. From .models, import post, comment, comments. Let's save that. Now let's jump back here and try it again. So I'll just type, great post, and we'll submit this. And we got no errors, but nothing showed up. So what did we do wrong? Oh, I completely forgot to add the list of comments to the actual template. So it's not going to show up yet. So let's go ahead and make that addition real quick. So on our post detail, which is right here, we want to go ahead and below this form here, list out all of our comments. So I'm going to go below this row here. Right here, I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this to start this row and column. I'm going to close out both these tags. And now within this column here, or actually before we do that, let's go ahead and make a couple changes up here. Let's add a border dash bottom to the row, so there'll be just like a thin little line between each comment. And then we add our for loop within Django. So just like up here, or I guess on our post list, if you look at that real quick, how we loop through all of the posts in the post list and create a row for each one. We want to do the same thing here for the comments. So above our row here, we want to type curly braces 2% signs for comments in comments. And now I'm going to close off this for tag at the or this for loop at the bottom below this up here below this row right here. So we'll type end for. Now let's go ahead and just put the comments down here. So let's first create a p tag. And instead of here, I'll make a strong tag. And I'll say comments.author to list out the user that posted the comment. And then I'll do right here. Oh, actually, before I almost forgot, there's be two curly braces around this because it's a variable coming from our context. And now outside of here, I'm going to do comment.created on to put the date it was written, the comment was written on. And that should be it for that tag right here. So we're going to close off this p tag right here. And then below this, I'm going to create another p tag and put the actual body of the comment. So once again, to curly braces, comments dot comments. We'll close off this tag. And in case this is not clear, all these right here, this comment dot whatever, author, created on, comment, all comes from our models. And it's one of these fields here. So comments, created on, author, etc. Okay, with that done, let's go ahead and save all this, and now let's go back and reload this page. So back in Chrome here, there we go. So now we have a comment coming down below all of this post here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and make this smaller though. So back in here, let's, oh, you know what? I didn't put it inside this, I put all this outside of the column, that's the issue. So let's go ahead and delete all of this. Let's come up inside of here and put it all right there. Let's save that. Let's go back here and reload the page. Perfect. Now this fits better. This border is still off. Let's check that real quick. Let's go ahead and move this to the column where we set the size, and then come back here and reload the page. There we go. All right, so now it looks good. So now we have our username of who posted the comment, the date it was posted, and the actual comment itself goes right there. And so we can add more and whatever else, and it will all just show up like this, and the newer ones show up on top. So this is all working great. We can add comments down, we can list them out down here. And now if we go ahead and just do a get request as well, the comments still show up because we added it to our get method as well. Okay, perfect. With that done, we need to add a way to delete these comments. And we also want to add some buttons. So to delete or to edit this post, right now I have to come up here into the URL and change it. It'd be better if we had some buttons over here to edit or delete it. And since we're using the Font Awesome icon library, we can put some icons over here to make it look better. So let's go ahead and do that now real quick for our post edit and delete, as well as for our comment delete once we make that. So first we'll focus just on this post, and we'll just put the edit and delete buttons, and then we'll come back and we'll make the delete view here and put the button on after we make it. So let's go back to our post detail view right here. And let's go ahead and add some icons. So I'm going to go up here where we have this p tag with the author and the create on. I want the icons to be over here. So just to make this more readable, I'm going to split this up into a separate line. And now below this strong tag and this post create on, I want to go ahead and add a couple of links. But we only want these links to show up if the current user that's logged in matches the author on this post, so that only the user who made this post can edit it. And so we can do that pretty easily with Django. We have two curly braces, 2% signs. Inside here we can put if request.user equals post.author. So if this is the case, it'll run this. Let's go ahead and end our if statement real quick. So end if. So all we're doing here, we're doing request.user, which is just the current user is logged in. If that user matches or is equal to the post.author, the user that's on that was saved as the author. Then we want to give them the edit and delete buttons. So now within this if statement, we can add two links. So I'll do a href, and we want to send this one to the edit. So I'll put two curly braces, 2% signs, and we'll add just our URL syntax with Django. So it'll be URL, and then a string, our URL name. In this case is post-edit. And we'll pass in post.pk to send us to the correct post. Okay, and with that, we'll go ahead and put a space here, and we'll add a style. And we want to go ahead and make sure the icon is a dark gray. So we'll do color, and we'll type hashtag 333 and a semicolon, and then we're going to go ahead and add our icon. So we'll use some font awesome icons again. So we'll type an I. Actually, first before I do this, let's go and close out this tag here. Now within this tag here, I'll type I class equals FAR FA dash edit, which will give us a little edit icon. Close off that tag. Try it again. There we go. Close off that tag right there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and copy this down one more time because we need to give it a delete button as well. So I come down here, I'll paste this right here. Now I'll change this post-edit to post-delete. And then down here, instead of FAR FA-edit, it'll be FAS FA-trash. This will give us a trash can. Let's go ahead and save that. Now let's jump back into our view here. We reload the page, and now we have two buttons. This one takes us to the edit, and this one takes us to delete page. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and add the delete view for these comments, and we'll add a little trash can icon here as well to delete the comments. So back in our text editor, let's go to our views, and for this comment delete view, we're going to use the same delete view generic class we used before. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and create another class and call it comment delete view. We'll pass in delete view. Now, once again, we need to give it a model. So in this case, model equals comment, and we give it a template name as well. So we'll do template underscore name equals social / comment underscore delete .html. Perfect. Now that looks good, but we want to add the same get success URL because once we delete the comment, we want to go back to the same post. So I'm going to go and copy this get success URL that we have in our post edit view because it's going to be exactly the same. So I'll come down here and just paste it right there. We're just getting the primary key and returning the detail with that primary key, just like we did before. And that's all we should need for our delete view. So let's go ahead and save that. Now let's go ahead and create this comment delete.html. So I'll create a new file. I'll save it as comment underscore delete.html. And I'm going to copy our post delete because it's going to be almost exactly the same. Just one small change here. So we go back to our comment delete, paste it in here. I'm going to change this from you're going to delete this post to you're about to delete this comment. And everything else should be the same. So we'll go ahead and save that. That should be it. Now let's go ahead and create a URL for this. So down here, I'm going to go and do a path, and it'll be post / we want to pass in the post ID, so like we did up here. So I'm going to do int : we'll call it post underscore PK to differentiate it from the comment PK. And we'll do /comment / delete and then once again int : PK for the comment PK. As trillion slashes to all of our URLs, forgot to do that there. And then I'm going to go ahead and do, first I forgot to import it, so up here at the top, go ahead and do a comma, and then comment delete view. And then down here, I will do comment delete view to as underscore view. And then the name will equal comment dash delete. There we go. Now let's go ahead and add a little icon to our detail view like we did for the post edit and post delete. So back in our post detail, down here with this p tag with the author and create on, just like we did before, put a space, put this separate line to make it a little easier to read here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this because it's gonna be almost exactly the same. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it right below this strong tag right there. And then I'm gonna change this. Or first I'm gonna get rid of this whole comment or this whole post edit because we're not gonna be able to edit comments. If you want to do that, you can do that on your own. It's pretty much the same thing as we did for our post edit. But I'm not gonna do that in this video. I just want to go down here and change this post delete to comment delete to go to our comments delete page instead. And that should be it. I should put a trash can next to it if you are signed in and you're the user that made the comment. So now back here, reload the page. I should have 2 trash cans. Oh, I forgot to pass in the I passed in the post.pk. I need to pass in the comments.pk as well. Since we have 2, you look at our URLs, we have 2 variables being passed in, one right here and one right here. So the first one will come here and be the post.pk, which is post.pk. And the second one will be the comment.pk, which is just comment.pk. So we can pass both those in here, post.pk, a space, and then comment.pk. With that done, let's go up, jump back to Chrome, reload the page. Now there's 2 trash cans here. If I click on one, it takes us here. You're about to delete this comment. This can't be undone. Hit delete. It goes away. Although it looks like there may be an issue with where it's going. It took me to the wrong one, it looks like. Let's check that again. Let's add another comment, just whatever, and delete it. It should go back to hello. There we go. Okay, maybe it was working. It looks like it's working fine. Maybe I was just thinking it was on the wrong one. Okay, so everything looks like it's working well. The last thing we want to do is we want to restrict some of these views based on who is signed in. And so luckily Django has some easy mix-ins to make this easy. So we can jump back into our text editor and we just need to add a couple things to our views to make this work. Up here at the top, we can import one more line here. So below this reverse lazy, I'm going to type from django.contrib.auth.mixins import user passes test mixin and login required mixin. So this login required mixin does exactly what it says. It will just make sure the user is logged in. So we add this mixin to any view. If they're not logged in, it will redirect them to the login page. For this user passes test mixin, we can create a Boolean expression, and if the user passes that Boolean expression, or if that Boolean expression returns true, it will let them view the page. If not, it will throw a 403 error. So for example, for our post edit view, we want to check to make sure the user matches who made the post. If not, we don't want them to be able to access it at all. Right now, if I had a different user and I went up here to the address bar, I can still access the edit page for any of my posts. But if I add this user passes test mixin, I won't be able to access it unless I'm the user that made the post, which is what we'd want. So to use these, it's pretty simple. We just need to add them into what is inherited into each view. So we need to put this in front of our view class itself. And so for my post list view, I just want to make sure they're logged in. So I'll just type login required mixin. For the post detail view, I want to just make sure they're logged in as well to view this. So I'll type login required mixin. For the post edit view, I want to add both the login required and the user passes test. So first I'll type login required mixin, and then I'm going to type in user passes test mixin. And now we need to add the Boolean expression for this user passes test mixin. So what we can do is go down here below our get success URL. We can add a new function. This function is called test func. So we'll type def test underscore func pass itself. This is a function that comes with this user passes test mixin. So it needs to be called exactly this for this to work. And now down here we can just return some sort of Boolean expression. So first I want to get the current post. So I'll type post equals self self.get_object, which will get the current post, and that can return self.request.user equals post.author. So if the request user, or the user in the request, the user is logged in, matches this author, it will return true. Otherwise, it returns false. If it returns true, it'll let them go to this edit page. If it says false, it will throw a 403 error. And we'll test all this in a second, but that should be good there. Now, once again, the same thing for the delete view. Only the user who's logged in and that made the post can delete it. So I'm going to copy both of these, paste them right here. And I'm also going to copy the same test function because it's going to be exactly the same. And I'll paste that right there. And then for the comment delete view, once again, it's going to be the exact same. We want to make sure they're logged in and that they pass the same test. So I'll go ahead and copy this, come up here, paste that there, and copy this test func as well, and paste that right there. Perfect. Let's go ahead and save that. And now with this current user, since I made everything so far, this should all work just the same. So back here, if I reload the page, looks like we got an error. What did I mess up? Oh, I messed up the import statement. You probably caught that. I must have spelled it wrong up here, right here. So I'll change this to Django. Now let's go ahead and try this again. User passes text mixed in. I had some more typos apparently. I was not paying attention at all what I was typing apparently. Let's go ahead and fix that. So here's a typo right here. User passes text, it should be test. And the same thing down here. And probably down here as well. Yep. And that should be it. Save that. Come back here. Let's try this one more time. There we go. And so I can still go to no. Post edit view is missing the implementation of test func method. Let's double check that. Oh, once again, I put text for all these. Let's change all this to test. Sorry with this. Apparently, I made a bunch of typos. There we go. Come back here, try this again. There we go. So since I'm the user that made this post, it lets me in. Same thing goes for the delete, for the post, and for the comment. So now to test all this, let's go ahead and create another user. So let's go ahead and just sign out. We'll register. I'll register a new user here. Whatever the password. Sign in. And now when I click on this, the buttons are all gone. There's no way to go to the edit or to the delete. And if I try to go edit this post in the address bar up here, so I go edit, or should be post/edit/3, you get a 403 forbidden because I'm not the one who created this post. And same thing if I go to the delete, 403 forbidden. So now let's go back here, and the same thing should work for this comment. I don't remember the ID, but if you saw what that was, you should be able to put that in there as well, and it should get the same thing as before. If I add another post here now, whatever, I would hit submit. Now it looks like we're missing our buttons. What happened there? Oh, another issue here. I put the post to author. I want to do the comment dot author. Make sure the comment of the matches the author of the comment matches the comment, not the post. Now let's come back here, reload this page here, and now we get the trash can icon. If I click on it, it lets me through to this delete view here, and I can delete it. Post matching query does not exist. Looks like we have another issue here. Oh, so the issue here is I put PK inside the self.quarks, but in the case of our comment delete view, we need to get the post PK. This PK is what we just deleted. So you look at our URLs, and there was a post PK and a PK for this comment delete view. This is the one we're deleting, so this now no longer exists. So you want to get this one instead. So let's make that switch real quick. I forgot to make that change inside of our views. So you'll see post equals or pk equals self.quargs, and this should be post underscore pk to get the post pk. Now let's go back to our browser here, come back, just go back here, let's add another comment again, and let's hit submit. There it is. We'll delete it. And there we go. So now everything's working. We got a few issues there, but now everything looks like it's working well. So that's it then. We have everything working, all of our comments and posts, all the create, update, read, and delete functionality for the comments and posts is now done. There's still a lot missing. There's no like profile. There's no way to filter this. This search button doesn't work, and there's lots of other things we still need to do. But for today, we'll stop here. The code will be in the description below, as well as the link to the written tutorial. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.